Tanya.
Thank you. Tanya White Deo, My Road to PTSD. My Road to PTSD, Tanya White Deo.
Right around the year of 2007, right before the big recession of 2009, a headhunter presented me with the best job ever. The money was good, the location was perfect, and the title was just straight up prestigious. Contest master, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, when things look perfect on the outside, they may not be so perfect on the inside. Let me tell you how I got on the road to PTSD. Yeah, I said PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, but it was really more PSTF, pushing stuff too far. When I got in for the interview, I really should have paid more attention to what the prospective boss had to say. Her introductory statement was, I hope you have plenty of Tums, a bottle of aspirin, and you better know where the nearest bar is, because I'm a straight up witch with a B. When she said witch with a B, she meant it. She could have cast for the next recasting of The Wiz. She could be the witch and the flying monkeys. Taking the job thinking it was a joke was what followed was completely on me. There was great responsibility in the job and very little downtime for major comforts, like lunch. I would go 10 minutes across the street for a cold sandwich, and when I checked my phone, I had 20 to 30 text messages from my boss. At this point, I had to assess this situation, decide if I was going to be able to put up with this micromanaging attitude for the long haul. Even more important, was this job worth the hassle? Back at the time I had this job, my son had asthma one night, and he was with me in the office when he started having an attack, a real medical need. He was laying on the carpet, writhing with pain, and I was there trying to complete an assignment for my boss. My boss, with no conscience at all, stood over my child and said, "You're not leaving until you get it done." It was already well past 10 p.m. In my mind, I was thinking, it's time to grow a pair and ask, was this an ultimatum? Who is going to get the work done if you're letting me go? And are they available to take over now? After answering myself with a resounding no, I picked up my son and I left for the day. That job's not worth harm to my child. My boss always said, take your pain early. In other words, when you get an assignment, do the hardest part first. This tip was not being offered for my good. There was more work coming tomorrow that would take up most of my day, so I would not have time to double back and catch up the first assignment. When the work didn't get done, my boss demanded, you need to fire one or more of your hand-picked subordinates and get someone in here who can do the job, or should I let you go? I asked myself, which scenario would be worse? I already knew my boss had the nerve and the ability to get rid of me, since there was no fear in screaming at me and yelling openly every day at me. Coworkers started checking in daily with, are you okay? Oh, did you get yelled at today? Either they had a genuine concern or there was an office pool I wasn't getting invited to join, which was based on the number of times I would get yelled at or how long I would put up with it and stay there. They wouldn't help or back me up when I put in a complaint of mistreatment and abuse. These people started to sound like Master Sergeant Hans Schultz. I see nothing, I know nothing. In war, I do not like to take sides. Finally, I learned that performance plans issued by sadistic bosses cannot be completed successfully. During the time frame for the demonstration of the ability to perform specific tasks and duties the best you can, my boss made sure that all my time was preoccupied with projects that she couldn't get done months earlier. Suddenly, they became priority, which only I could handle. At this point, I might as well have started packing my bags. Time was going to run out on the performance plan and the extension on the performance plan. The boss's complaints were proven on paper, since only the items on the plan were considered on the day of reckoning. Those other red herring projects, well, she took all the credit for getting her task list done. My boss successfully ousted me, striking first blood, like a vicious lion looking for its next kill. Indiscriminate terror was wreaked throughout the office. Paying attention, I knew which heads were going to go fall next, which heads were safe, and which head was going to replace me. All the other managers receiving treatment which was bad or worse soon followed me out. Those without any thoughts who just towed the company line and were yes people were spared. My subordinate, who stayed in my boss's office and even allowed the occasional smack on the backside from time to time, became my replacement. Instead of throwing in the towel, I allowed myself to deal with the high level of boss toxicity, despite warnings of imminent demise from doctors, therapists, and even psychiatrists if I couldn't continue much longer under those circumstances. It was finally over. I could regroup, reset, restart my life under more stable conditions. The physicians who'd given me 3 to 4 months to live, not eating, not sleeping, and stressing out, thought I had died when I was able to go for 3 to 4 years without a visit. Yeah, I survived the road to PTSD. I turned a leaf and went the other direction. I didn't have the cozy job with the good money, or the great location, or a prestigious title, but I believe I had something just a little more important and invaluable, my peace of mind, which was just perfect for me. Thank you, Madam Contest Master.
Thank you, Tanya. We're glad you made it here. Now the judges will have all the time they need to complete their ballots in the breakout room.